This is actually the very first rendering that I saw of Jelly Beans the cheetah that an artist from Purpage Center had done that really won my attention, and I knew that I wanted to work with this young lady, Lifa. She had captured the confidence of the animal that he got by the end of the story, where he was self-actualized and feeling really good about his uniqueness. He found his wholeness. So I just thought it was gorgeous. You'll find out or see from the book that the background is very, very different. We did end up taking off the black from his back. I felt like that looked a little bit more like that character Scar from The Lion King, and he was a negative character. So I wanted to make sure to take that out, and then we were very careful to be very, very specific with the huts and the look of the dresses and of everything with the Barabaig tribe to be very respectful. Drawings, early drawings that were done on lined paper, you can see. And this is the drawing that's almost the same as the one that's in the book, where the mother is singing to the baby the love song that she had sung to him. This is when he gets caught in the net, and that's pretty similar too, although I made the tree smaller. We made the tree smaller. These are a couple of the pictures of cheetahs who were laughing at Jelly Beans when he was caught in the net. Look at these. This is the progression with trying to be very, very true to the specifics of people who really exist. Mbisha is based on a real village elder from the Barabaig tribe, and it was very important for me that somebody be very good at drawing people, so that we could best depict the essence of the person. In this first picture, Mbisha, his face really seems too thin, and he just doesn't seem as luminous as he was as a person when I was with him and when we met him when we stayed in the village. His hat also doesn't look quite like a cowboy hat. Mbisha wore a brown cowboy hat. This next picture, his face is more full. He still doesn't have that luminous face, but I felt also that structurally his face was just not quite what Mbisha's was. So on this next one, you see that his face is fuller. His hat is now a cowboy hat. The next picture you see, now we have done more specifics with the look of the huts. See, with just a basic hut there. We made sure that the hut looked like the Barabaig tribe's hut. And then we put a couple of women in the picture with the basket on their back and those beautiful beaded dresses that they wore with the brown on the top. The younger women in the tribe wore beaded dresses, kind of like in our culture, how the younger women wear more flashy or more beautiful looking things, and then the older women are maybe a little more understated. And it was really similar, actually, to our Western culture in that regard. He's looking a little bit more like Mbisha here, but then the last picture is when he really looks more like the Mbisha that I interacted with when I was in the village. This is Mbisha's ebullient smile, his welcoming spirit, the beauty of who he was, I just felt was better captured here. And now the huts look great, and the women are a part of the mix too. This is a picture of a hand drawn picture of Nicole next to the cheetah. This is an early sketch of Nicole. Again, it was really important for the person who did the art for the people to be very accurate. Nicole is based on a real woman who told us the tribe needed clean water. So I wanted to make sure that we were very, very true to the look of her. When I asked Nicole, actually, to give me a picture of her when she was a little girl, she gave me a picture of herself with straight braids. I asked her if I could take the liberty of having her have curly hair when she was little, just like when when I had met her, because I'd already written it in one of the love songs, and so she let me do that. This is an early sketch of Nicole, so that gave the artist something to bring to me to see if I felt that was an accurate rendering of what I saw in Nicole, the woman who told us the tribe needed clean water, and also just the look of her as a little girl. And I thought this was just absolutely fantastic. This was another early picture of Jelly Beans the cheetah. He had a little bit more of a menacing look on his face there. Kind of needed to soften his look. These are a couple of pictures from, let's see my phone on this. These are a couple of pictures from when we were just kind of doing storyboarding. It's just kind of getting an idea for what the look of that picture was when Jelly Beans first got brought back to the camp. And really the picture is very similar. This one was so beautiful because Kylie made the main character, Nicole, in this, one of the main characters, Nicole, the prominent, largest person in the picture because of the importance of her in the life of the cheetah. So I just thought that was just an amazing choice, a choice that, you know, me not being an artist, I wouldn't have known to do that perspective-wise. It was just gorgeous, and I really love it. This is another that she was playing with. The one on the left, we really didn't end up using. Because Nicole actually is biracial. We don't really find that out in the story. I have the man in shadow. I was a little bit worried about, I didn't want to make the implication that her dad having an African heritage made him bad, because it certainly doesn't. But her mom was a white woman, and when she's stroking her hair with a comb, that's the kind of subtle implication there. But yeah, she's arguing, or her dad's being gruff in that picture. But we chose not to use that, not to show the gruffness, to just imply it or say it with the words. This next one is a picture that we end up using quite a bit, or we use one pretty similar to this. I love the posturing of the girl next to the cage. Just in her body language, you can see her showing kindness and empathy and really caring about the cheetah. And that's just so powerful, and really that's very, very similar to what we ended up using. Just more details. This is an early rendering of Nicole with talking to the cheetah when she wants to set him free. You can see his body. This is a picture of when she asks Jelly Beans, "Are you sure?" And then she talks about him giving her back hope. She feels she's more able now to cope. All of those things that she says, and then that are paralleled or echoed by the cheetah at the end of the story. I loved what this looked like. I thought this was gorgeous. We ended up changing it from blue to, I think it's a purple color, just for variety in the story. Color-wise. Oh, let's do this. These are the pages for trying to decide how to show when the child goes into the hut when Jelly Beans and Hope are asleep a while. The line is something like, one night when Jelly Beans and Hope had been asleep a while, a Barabaig child snuck in with a mischievous smile. So we tried this one. This seemed too ominous and scary, and we didn't want it to be too fearful. This took the scary to another level. This just looked terrifying because it almost looks like the marker is a weapon, and we certainly didn't like that part of it either. The cheetah was beautiful. They're both, you know, they both have beautiful parts to them, but we sort of chose to not go those directions. And then the girls came up with an idea. I think Leafa did this. Came up with an idea to just imply that the little boy had gone inside, with the markers laying on the ground, leading inside the hut. This is the picture we sort of settled on, but not completely. We settled on this, but then ultimately we laid in an oval that Jacob would do that showed a humanitarian giving markers to a child. And in the background, I had the earth dam. And so the implication was, you know, showing giving, but then, you know, not just giving the markers, but giving in a larger way with that earth dam in the background. And then I actually have the face of the humanitarian be Sandy Schley. And that is a woman who invited me on the trip, who's a friend of mine, and who was president of Rotary, and then went on to be a district governor for Rotary. The reason that I did the picture the way that I did, or chose to have it designed the way that I did, was that I wanted to celebrate and honor not only her contribution to getting the funds together and everything together to provide this earth dam for the tribe, but also in her handing those markers to one little boy, the idea was to celebrate another act of kindness or another humanitarian pursuit where she brought a little boy named Moses back over from Africa and helped to make sure to get his eyes fixed. He had crossed eyes and he was really ostracized in the village where he lived. And then have his teeth fixed and have him cared for and helped. And, you know, such a supreme act of love and kindness. And so I really wanted to honor both acts of kindness and both acts of humanitarianism in that picture. So I was able to celebrate my friend in that way. So that felt really good to me to be able to do that. So I loved making her the face of humanitarianism. So that one little boy really represented Moses, with her handing markers just to one little boy. These were just lovely, and sometimes when we're making artistic choices, we have to take out things that are really, really quite wonderful and have such good elements that it's really hard to make the decision. This was one of the choices with the little girl was taking a bow. This is a beautiful picture. And then this was just gorgeous. The hands and the expression on the face of this one is just so stunning. It was really, really hard to decide against this one. In this picture, the little girl has blue eyes too, and that's not right for the character. The character has brown eyes, but we did change that. But we still couldn't use it. We still decided against it. We were all sort of, just doing the best we could with all of this. It was so new to all of us. But it was such a beautiful experience to have all of our creative minds working together to make decisions about what would be the best way to portray the story and the words. It was really a special experience, I think, for me and I think for all of us. I guess that's just about it. So the Cheetah and Hope, that took about 3 years to put together. It took 3 different illustrating interns, 6 marketing interns, and there are a couple of interns from IPR who are going to be helping with creating the voiceover and the production of a couple of love songs in the story, and then producing some background music to go with to honor Tanzania and the tribe the best we can. So I guess that's about it. Love this. It's really fun to look at. Other things I wanted to share. This is the cover of Jelly Beans, the Cheetah and Hope. And you can see that the snout of the cheetah is more pointed and longer than the one that we settled on. You also may notice that the feet of the women are barefoot, are bare, and they don't have any shoes on. I felt like that would be a pretty strong message that wasn't accurate. The women and the men all wore these sandals made of recycled tires, and again wanting to be very, very true to the specifics of the tribe to honor them, with knowing that I wanted to model a heart of service and be able to ultimately give back to the tribe. It was really important for me to respect them completely, but also just to respect them as people in general, because that's really the message of the book, to respect and care about all people and understand that we're one. So the snout wasn't quite right. Jacob helped modify this. The other thing that you'll notice, I'm going to go in a little bit closer. Do you see that what this woman has on her back seems like kind of a backpack? And that's really supposed to be a basket that she's holding on her back with the gourd in it that the women used to get water from the earth dam that we'd made for them, or that we had helped finance for them. And I just didn't feel like it was specific enough to what it really looked like. So we worked on that. That the woman has a more three-dimensional looking basket that's very, very true to the specific baskets that they actually used. Some women in Africa, I noticed, would carry things on their heads when they were walking. But in the Barabaig tribe, they didn't do that. They used baskets. And then that beautiful gourd is in the back. The gourd that they used for the water, to get water from the earth dam, was a really round gourd. I actually came home with a teardrop-shaped gourd that I was able to share with students, and the teardrop-shaped gourd was used for milk. So they knew from the shape of the gourd what kind of fluid was held within it. you'll see that their shoes are accurate. They are the sandals that the people in the tribe wore. So, so that was complete. And then if you look at the face of the cheetah, you see that he has a face that is more true to a cheetah's face. You see this one is pointed, more fox-like. And then this one is a better look. I know that when I had asked Jacob to do some modifications on the cover, he was a little hesitant at first, and he admitted to me that later on in the interview that I did just the other day, that part of why he was hesitant to make changes to the cover was because it was such a beautiful cover. You will notice too that the cover, the general look of the cover is very, very similar to the very, very first drawing ever done, as far as the way the cheetah is standing with confidence and resolve and feeling very whole and complete with his uniqueness and feeling very loved and self-actualized. But then also the look of the tree in the background, the placement of the cheetah, and everything else is just different, as far as now it's very specific to the tribe. So they're wearing the draped cloths, and then the men and the women are wearing those really beautiful. Okay, so that's Sandy Schley giving the marker to the child. And in the background is the earth dam with the women. The woman on the right has the basket to her side, and then the other woman is holding a gourd. So it's showing the women at the earth dam. When we were there, the need was so great for water that the women were already using that earth dam, even though they hadn't put rock down on the bottom yet, that they needed to so that it wouldn't be so murky. And it was such a beautiful sight to see the women at that earth dam getting water. We were told that before they had the earth dam, that they had to send the girls out at night when it was cool to go miles and miles to where the water source was. And, you know, that's when the wild animals are out, and it just was pretty amazing to me that could change the lives of those little girls, where then they could go to school, because they couldn't go to school when they had that job to do. It is the cheetah and the little girl in silhouette at the end of the story. And I just think that's beautiful, and it fits so beautifully. It didn't work as well when it was side by side to the pictures, to the other picture, but it worked well like this. So it took the talents of every one of these young people to bring this together. First, it was the invitation by Sandy Schley to have me join her in Africa to see the earth dam and be a part of the celebrating with the tribe, as far as how that changed the lives of in their village, and how it changed the lives for the little girls.